Life's a casino, I'm telling you, and everybody's playing, boys and girls, women, children, me and you. The dice are loaded and everything's fixed. Even a hobo would tell you this. Welcome to hard times and feeling low. Do you like sinning? No. Well, you will be before you go. We got lots of gambling. Oh, and we're telling lies. You're certainly welcome to hard times. Take a look in my eyes. Tell me what you see. Besides the bright blinking lights stretched out in front of me, I wonder if you'll notice. Would you even care if I told you my life just isn't fair? Welcome to hard times and feeling low. Do you like sinning? No. Well, you will be before you go. We got lots of gambling. Oh, and we're telling lies. You're certainly welcome. Hard times, yes. Hope you're feeling welcome to hard times.
Yes. Welcome to hard times. Hard times for some. Hard times if you're a shitcoin trader. Little shit munching eating losers.
Get a real job, you fucking bum.
Get a real job, bum. Fuck off. How are you feeling? How was your mood? Before we went live, we were doing some tax stuff and
crunch those spreadsheets. Honestly, co-work is fucking fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, just good. It's good for anything, and it's like putting why do you need anything anymore apart from a Claude Code subscription?
Yeah, I know. Some of the way these robots are moving as well. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Jesus, don't even go there. Right. Thanks to Yeet, primary sponsor of the Blockmates podcast. Go over there if you're geo-blocked in the UK. Use your brain. I'm not going to say things on stream that I shouldn't say, but you know, yeet.com. Go and play in the casino. What we're going to talk about today. So, pump.fun is coming under fire, which has sort of been born out of the whole thing with Nikita and. Well, I actually think like saving crypto Twitter really because of the whole nonsense we've been seeing about the claim the fees, bro, and all this kind of stuff. Then we are going to get into the fact that what's been going on with Peter Steinberger really, which is sort of related to Pump and the problem we've seen with fucking hell, what's it called now? Claudebot? Maltbot? I keep getting mixed. OpenClaw. Jesus, I keep getting mixed up with all the names.
Apparently that's the final name pivot.
Final name pivot, but we'll get into that. Basically, going to talk about the Zora move to Solana and subsequent pivot, what that means, and the fact that Dragonfly they've got loads of fucking money, loads of money to deploy because it's a bear market, baby, and the best things are made in bear markets. So, yeah, how are you feeling about stuff? We've had a couple of streams this week already, haven't we? Blair Zero, Commonwear.
Yeah.
USD AI on Monday. Jesus, you've been relentless. I've never seen so much of you.
Yeah, I've got Travis Good from Ambient on as well. Alexander's brother. What a mad family that is to be able to creating all the shit that they're up to. So that's on at 5 p.m. I need to go to the garage in between. So I don't know if we'll squeeze that one out. And me and Sunil are back to, yeah, I'm sick of this fucking sound of my own voice, to be honest. So, but someone's going to have to cover what's happening at the forefront of the industry. And
God damn it. Someone's got to do it, god damn it.
there's a few other people doing it, but I don't know if fucking people listen to those fuckers talk about it. So I'll just leave that there.
I know, they're all absolutely shite, aren't they? Like, what do you listen to? Like, what do you listen to that's like actually a good pod that isn't ours?
The two Brads, it's like B2G podcast. I think that's really good. Lenny's really good. DeFi Dad's stuff is really good. I listened to the USDAI one the other day.
Yeah.
Probably a few others that I can't think off the top of my head, but I struggle really.
Are we talking like crypto specific?
Yeah, even like All In now, it's like just fucking Jason Calcanis all over the fucking podcast. Like, just like, did you know it was the earliest investor knew? But like, oh, fuck off, you idiot. Like,
I like Gwartz, to be fair, because I just like this.
Gwart's brilliant, yeah.
Who else? I don't know how we've got here, by the way. You just said everything was shite and I just agreed. So I can sense that you're in a bad mood, so I'm just going to feed off it.
I'm in one of those, like, where if you team me up, I might go on one that.
Right, well, let's go on one then. Right, so as I said when I did the intro, whatever you want to call it, pump.fun have now been through three versions of the creator fee model now. Each one has subsequently caused drama. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory, and then we can talk about the absolute toilet that is the meme coin casino. If it's even still open. The meme coin casino feels like a retail park in a battered old UK town that's like struggling to stay open. You know, it's like if anyone's still showing up to that casino, well, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. Probably you need to be doing something different. But it's
one of those ones, you know, where the cans, but the cans are actually stuck down with glue. You can't actually win.
Yeah.
You're shooting them.
You're talking like theme park, like fun park there, aren't you? Like fun fairs. But yeah, I mean, right, backstory. We're pretty unprepared for this one again this week. I feel like it's said that too frequently, but
nothing new.
Yeah, whatever. You lot keep seeming to show up and tell us you like it, so we're not going to change anything until you tell us it's shit. Right, so it started in May last year. They introduced a 0.05% creator fee on PumpSwap, which obviously sounded nice on paper, like rewarding creators and all that. But actually what they did was they just slapped an additional fee on top of the existing trading costs rather than sharing any of their own revenue. Total swap fees went from 0.25 to 0.3%. So traders are paying more. Pump.fun keeps everything they were already making, and then they just frame it as they were like giving back to the creators with this whole thing we'd been watching. Then in September, we got Project Ascend with dynamic fees, which was a sliding scale where smaller tokens could earn up to 0.95%, dropping down to 0.05%. I think I said 0.95. Yeah. Once you hit a $20 million market cap, $20 million, $20 million. Creators earned $2 million in the first 24 hours, which was massive, obviously, compared to the 198K the day before. Brought in streamers, new builders, double bonding curve volumes. But the problem was it obviously incentivized people to just deploy thousands of low effort tokens and farm fees with basically zero risk. Am I doing a good job of this screen read here, by the way? I don't know.
Apart from not being able to fucking read, yeah.
Like Ron Burgundy, but I've done some prep for this. So I was like, I hope it's still sort of paraphrasing. And as I said, like Elon then came out and said the model was dangerous because it obviously rewarded creation over trading, and the traders are the ones that were actually providing the liquidity. Then in January, they added a fee sharing across 10 wallets. And then obviously just yesterday, they dropped another update, which is the trader cashback coins. So now when you launch a token, you have to choose up front, either you keep the creator fees or all of those fees get redirected back to traders as cashback. Once you choose, it's locked forever. And the backlash has been consistent through all of this, essentially. The core criticism being that Pump just keeps repackaging transaction taxes as creator rewards without ever cutting into their own take. And one dev called them extractor fees. very typical shit. Since deployers aren't really creating anything, they're just using automated tools to launch thousands of tokens in a couple of clicks. Yeah, and everyone's just kind of throwing a load of stuff at this at the minute today and telling everyone how bad it is. And we've got loads of tweets like, Josh, can you pull my screen up and I'll read this one off as like some context, essentially. Right, so this one, as you can see, pump.fun just killed every coin on chain and people don't even completely understand the update yet. They're giving us cash back on all transactions, not for holding tokens. This is something we already get from quite literally every trading terminal. Taking away dev fees and giving them to traders sounds cute and all, but what they basically just did was make bundling easier, lol. So now instead of farming dev fees, people will farm cash back through more transactions with more bundled wallets and farm EPA. Retarded update. Literally, they just took away dev fees and reworded it to make it look like they're Robin Hood, taken from the rich and given to the poor. And in reality, they just make trading a million times worse. Reward holding, not trading. Give us fees for holding. I'm done with that. You can perhaps tell from my energy, I'm sort of just so fucking sick of talking about this, memes and repositioning and all that kind of thing. And, you know, the whole thing with Peter Steinberger is, well, we'll get on to next. It's probably the main reason why. What do you think?
Just people just need to give it up, man. Like,
yeah,
we were saying when we were kind of talking through it, it's like beyond 6 a.m. now. Like the pump party was 2 years ago, nearly 18 months ago. They're ringing some dodgy numbers at 7 o'clock. He's not answering. They are literally licking the bag at the end of the party. Give it up. Like, just go and do something more productive with your time. You're literally at this point of like the largest inflection point in human history, the biggest unlock since the internet, and people are trying to figure out a way to continue the party on pump.fun. Just go and put the exact amount of time and effort into actually building something. Like the real PvE is getting OpenClaw spun up or Claude Code or just speaking into a computer and bringing ideas to life. Like there's never been a time to do that in human history as easy as it is now, and people are trying to fucking just trade against each other and like somehow figure out this game that's like overly one-dimensional. And it's just like there's only a certain amount of ways you move the pieces around on the board, and it's whack-a-mole. You solve one problem and another one pops up. It's just give it up, man. Like it's fine. Good things happen and move on. Just I don't know why people are continuing to actually just like pay attention to this sort of shit. So it just needs to, you know, everyone needs to get on with their lives. Is my takeaway from this.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving it oxygen right now.
I know, but it's like people need to hear it. Give it up.
Give it up. I mean, I could give you a line, couldn't I, about why it's terrible for the industry. Incentivized volume, overholding, opening the door to wash trade and all this kind of stuff. But if you haven't figured it out by now, it's like, what's the percentage of, do we have like stats on this somewhere? I think Henry sent me something. It was like the percentage of rugs. Where is it? I don't know. I probably can't bring it up until I had some actual stats. I mean, don't even need to say it, do I? It's just like,
no, it's obvious. Like, and like if we use this as a good segue for the, I don't know if you had the Peter Steinberger, the OpenClaw creator on Lex Friedman.
Yeah, well,
and it does take us.
I don't know whether you were going to mention what's on my screen already, so I was going to ask Josh.
All right, yeah, go on. But it takes this pretty special guest to get me to watch a fucking 3-hour Lex Friedman podcast, but that one was pretty good. But there was like some really juicy bits between like 30 and 45 minutes around the crypto side of it, wasn't there? Have you got the notes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, if you want to bring it up, Josh, just briefly on my screen. So this is the clip, just for context, which we're obviously not going to play. It's like a 4-minute clip, and it's essentially Peter Steinberger, like on Lex Friedman, talking about how absolutely horrendous it was with people trying to gamify. So this is at Venture Coinist. I'm sure you'll have seen it on the timeline if you tune into the Blockmates show. Jesus Christ, it's got 1.2 million views, so you can drop this now, Josh. But the crux of what happened here was all about what had gone on with like Bags FM and like claiming fees and the, I suppose I'll do the TLDR. The TLDR is there was a playbook going around where coin could be launched, and then the most simple way to explain this as possible, because I'm going to assume that most people will understand the context here, is that you could have a coin launched on behalf of you, and then the creator of the coin, if it was officially attributed to them, could essentially then just claim the fees of whatever that coin was being traded at, being spat back to them. So there was an incentivization model that was working as a flywheel, in which people would be spammed with, just claim the fees, bro, because the second that this non-crypto person who doesn't give a flying fuck about meme coins or low caps or certainly your bags acknowledges that there's been a coin launched on their behalf, well, then in theory it validates the coin, potentially has a positive impact on price action. It sounds embarrassing even talking about this, never mind that it's not even a thing anymore. So that is what was happening with OpenClaw. When it was Maltbot, why can't I get the fucking name right? My brain's scrambled. OpenClaw, before they rebranded it, and essentially he's saying on this Lex clip that the levels of harassment that he was getting from the crypto community were just off the charts. He wasn't interested in the funds because he's got enough money, and he certainly wasn't interested in all of these spammy little fucking losers telling him to claim the fees on some shitcoin that had been launched in his name that I think had done reasonably well in terms of a pump. Well, it did do well, didn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, it's just a terrible look, isn't it, for the industry? And there's a part on this. There's a soundbite that Lex actually says, and he's quite succinct in the way he speaks. He kind of says what a lot of us who do this for a living and industry participants talk about, that crypto is like, along with AI and like this inflection point that we're all nicely chuntering towards at the minute, is some of the most interesting technology that could probably have like some of the biggest impacts on the financialization of the world. And we're seeing that already in real time, aren't we, with everything we talked about last week with Layer Zero, Tempo, everything like that. Being just completely overshadowed by any time this stuff gets in the mainstream media, like Lex Friedman, it's this guy explaining the shit that he's putting up with from these Discord server mules that are just absolutely desperate to milk anything they can for their own financial incentives. It's
embarrassing, isn't it? It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's because it's on the backdrop of like how impressive a lot of these tools are as well. Like that's the kind of like juxtaposition of it all. It's just like this, I don't want to do absolutely anything or contribute absolutely anything apart from just buy something and sit in a fucking Telegram or Discord server whilst you go and do the work. And now we're going to tie your value and your contribution to society to this fucking shitcoin that we've got ungodly amounts of the supply of bundled and make it look like we're doing you a favor. Fucking retarded. It's fucking stupid. Like, what are we doing? Like, what actually, I'm going to rephrase that. What are we doing is totally wrong. And it's only a select amount of people. And to put it into context, a guy who's building something as impressive as OpenClaw couldn't even change his fucking name of the product from, what's it start out, Claudebot to Maltbot. And the reason why there were so many name changes, and it like went through like loads of shit name changes, he wanted the domains across GitHub, the website, like where, like the socials, blah, 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 blah. And to do that, like atomically, in a sense of doing it all at the same time, is quite a difficult task to actually do, because these people were waiting in the wings, waiting for any type of update to actually happen, and then they were running scripts and then sniping the names and the domains of whatever Peter was updating it to. He said there must have been a delay of like 10 seconds before he clicked confirm on a domain and it got sniped because people were running these like hyper efficient scripts. So let me just put this into context. If there are people going to that length and that extent to snipe a domain name so they can launch a token, that is your counterparty when you're manually just fucking looking at Deck Screener and clicking to buy a token. So if you believe you've got an edge, I'm sorry, but you are fucking stupid. So that is the extent that these people will go to, and you feel like you've got an edge.
Can I add to that, right? Because we had this conversation ages ago when Infofire was still going on. And remember we had Mando on, and it was when everyone was getting furious about like the end of gamification of Kaido leaderboards and stuff. And we said at the time, just get a job and put your time and skills and expertise into something worthwhile. Because I've got some news for you, right, which is actually quite weirdly positive. If you're like a deck screen dwelling server sniper, right, you're probably of high enough agency and you've made your way around this industry and you can navigate it well enough. I guarantee that you have enough skills and agency as a human being to actually do something worthwhile. So go and have a go at doing that and contribute, and not even to the society in general, but to this industry a little bit more than sniping domains for some poor AI founder who doesn't want anything to fucking do with crypto or your bags. Yeah. And what is funny though is that there's one of the replies to this. Nikita did reply to the Lex clip that someone had put out and said, X moved too slowly and banning all of coordinated, financially incentivized harassment. We'll do better next time. So they're actively shipping to improve that, which is really, really good. But then Kobe replied and said, he blocked me even though I just congratulated him for the acquisition. So I just imagine the head loss, like sitting in bed or whatever, just going, fuck off. Like he had all of his notifications turned off and everything and just still couldn't get rid of people like relentlessly sending him shit.
Yeah, mental.
Yeah, it's someone, a new type trader here, left a comment saying we just need to run it back with Ohm. Let the 3-3 model come back, but embedded in meme coin trading somehow. Not sure.
There's so Jaws, who was previously at Olympus, is actually launching a iterative version on MegaETH. So
is that public? I feel like I'm not aware of that. Or is that insider exclusive stuff?
I think so. I don't know. I never know what I'm saying half the time. So
yeah, we've heard it at some point.
I'm the worst person to tell fucking shit to because I just say it by accident all the time.
Yeah. It's just a lifelong grass. So that leads me into something that I wanted to talk about as well, right? In that, something else that had kind of cropped up this week was the price of TBTN subscriptions. Now, if you haven't been online... subscriptions. Well, I don't know where that came from. So the price of TBTN ads. Now, there's a tweet here. You can just pull up my screen if you want, Josh. This guy's saying, $1 million a year to get what? At most 3,000 views per video. TBTN is a total joke and no one will say it out loud. Very, very typically, a tweet like this, as most people do, because everyone just loves a witch hunt. By the way, we have no affiliation with TBTN. We don't know those guys. Like, this is just a genuine take on like what I'm watching from an unraveling point of view here. 251k views, healthy amount of likes on this. Again, just everyone likes a pile on, don't they? In any industry for that matter, let alone tech/crypto. And then one of the replies is, I disagree and resonate more with John Coogan here. And John is one of the hosts on TBTN. And there's essentially a line here. It's like embracing anti-scale. And the crux of this, and I'm not going to read it out fully so we can drop the screen share, is the argument he's making is that when we talk about a total addressable market for like anything that we all spend our lives talking about, whether it's tech, whether it's crypto, whether it's AI, I guess you're going within like down bubble there, around your niche within a niche within a niche. And like the actual numbers available, like none of this stuff is mass market, right? And this is the whole problem with like vanity metrics in general. Just because something isn't mass market in that it's not cooking content or it's not sport content or something like that, doesn't mean that eyeballs are not valuable in terms of needle movers and the right people and important people watching the right sort of content that makes sense to them. And that's also like why we've ended up in this cyclical nature at the minute where just everyone's like desperately scrambling for a clip for something that might go viral on the timeline of them saying something that is like sensationalist or just absolute nonsense, garbage, bullshit, just in an effort to go viral. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, if you've got a loyal, good crowd and an audience, that like your shit and keep coming back for it. Just double down on that and serve that crowd. And if TBTN are getting this level of ad revenue at the size of the show that they are, like, fucking good for them. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? That's my opinion here. And like, you can kind of maybe accuse us of being dick riders here, like the way we're saying this, but they've kind of dug their heels in and said, if we break out of this mold, we've pivoted and we don't want to. Like, that isn't the crowd that we're serving here.
The flip side's also true. It's like, how many times have we been in touch with like founders and teams and we've had a conversation with them and they'll be like, oh yeah, we've got like 300,000 followers on Twitter. I was like,
no, you don't.
Like, are we just like lying to each other now? Like, is that what we're doing? Do you truly believe that? Because you're as deluded as fucking these people who are trying to still buy shit coins on pump.fun, if that's the case. All that game is, and I don't know who's to blame here, it's like, all that game is let's pump up our social metrics, let's make it appear much larger than we actually are. We're probably actually 5 to 10% of what we're actually touting on timeline, and then we're taking those numbers to VCs and angels and saying, well, look at this organic traction, which is probably added fuel to the fire with regards to them running a points campaign and then like alluding to an airdrop and all that bullshit. But there is no point. You're only lying to yourself, and it's stupid.
Well,
There's not one single botted follower across like, the blockmate stuff, and there never will be, because we can't actually gauge, like, are we doing things right? Are we doing things wrong? Like, are we moving in the right direction? If it was 1 million followers, we'd definitely be doing something wrong. Like, as to saying what they're actually saying as well there, that doesn't necessarily make sense. But I guarantee the 80-odd thousand followers that are on our account are legit and the needle movers, and they're probably all 6, 7, 8, 9 figures, maybe some even actually more, like if you actually drill down into it. And they're all founders, builders, people of like really high importance and interest. If you optimize for that, not all eyeballs are created equally, and I think that's exactly what they're saying. But
of course,
and how many times have we seen this? The problem is the people who are spending money on ads and marketing efforts. Usually, what we've seen, particularly in this industry, and I guarantee it's exactly the same in AI and tech and everything that's adjacent to what like the world that we live in. Marketers will do the bare minimum to not get fired, and anything outside the box they will not try and address, because that runs the risk of them actually getting fired. So what they can do is say, well, we just spent a load of ad budget on someone who's got 10 million followers. That's easy to defend and justify, as opposed to, oh, well, TBPN, they're only getting 3,000 views. Like, how do you turn around with a founder and say, well, they're only getting 3,000 views, they're really, really relevant, and all those eyeballs are really, really high, like high signal. That doesn't really land on the page as well as, oh, well, we just went with fucking some pound shop Mr. Beast and he's got 1 million followers, but they're probably all botted anyway, but I did my job. So that's the game that's getting paid here. But I think over time, with the way that AI is going, I think everything will consolidate for the higher quality of audience as opposed to quantity.
Yeah, so of course it will. We will always come back around to this, won't we? Signal over noise. You know, Nev actually replied, Nev and me were having a chat about this actually, and he'd replied to this, as I've just seen the tweet there, and it was kind of like aligning with Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans theory, basically the founder of like Wired. And it's this kind of, I say kind of, I don't know why I throw that in there. It's this theory that like depth over breadth, it's not even a theory, it's just true. And if you're in media or content creation or whatever it is that you're doing, and especially if you're in niche media content creation, always be aware of and think of your total addressable market. Like, you need to be realistic about that. And that comes with the people that you're working with as well, because as Grant says, it will always come back and bite you in the arse. Like, the funniest thing is when we went through that period, like 18 months ago, we would have teams coming to us with 500,000 followers. And I would go, I know everyone and everything that moves across this industry. If I've never heard of you, if someone farts, I'll hear it. And you've got 500,000 fucking followers, and you mean to tell me that's more than my football club? Come off it. Like,
yeah, you've got fucking 7 Old Traffords.
yeah.
I'm not having it.
It's just, yeah. I mean, how do you fix that though? Because like vanity metrics are not just a tech crypto issue.
I think more people are becoming aware of what's authentic and what's inauthentic because of like the acceleration of AI. People have a sixth sense for it, and I don't know where it came from because it's weird that we've never really lived with these like beings in these human machine type things, but we just have a really weird sixth sense of what is actually human and what's not. And I think people are becoming increasingly aware of it. Even like the boomers, like I know there's still aunties and uncles getting one-shotted on Facebook sharing some absolutely wild AI generated images. That'll take some time to play through.
your uncle sends you a video and going, have you seen what David Beckham said?
Yeah. Did you know Jeffrey Epstein is with David Beckham on an island now?
They're telling you he's dead. He's not dead. He's with David Beckham. I saw it on Facebook.
I've just seen it. Yeah, I've just seen it. They're both in Israel.
Anyway, so do you know who's left then? Real people. What would be your estimate? How many real people do you think are left on crypto Twitter and real people?
70 to 100,000. I think active, maybe less. Like
yeah. So if you think about like what percentage of that is of, depending on how you, I was going to say of value, depending on how you derive value.
No, but like an advertiser wants to derive value by, are they going to active and are they going to like your demographic is towards high net worth individuals. If you're going to, it depending on what the product actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a perp stacks, you want to be actively pursuing people who are high net worth and they're active. Like, yes, you need like the tail end of it as well, where you get quite a lot of smaller power users because that's dumb, uninformed flow, and they're just going to smash a lot of fucking take bids into the order book and just get absolutely rinsed. But you kind of want like thick, high net worth individuals. Yeah. that's what you want. Like as someone who's going to spend money on like a financial product like a perps market.
And let me be clear, by thick, Grant means unintelligent. Thick being local dialect to mean dumb high net worth individuals to translate.
You want people market buying like 6, 7, 8 figure fucking buys on their phone while they're having some lunch or something.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Zora's moved to Solana. I think you did the prep for this one. I hope you did, because I have very little information on this one other than my opinions, which be them valid or not. But we have some notes. I just don't know whether they're true or not. So
no, I can.
Do you want to plug in the gaps on the whole Zora?
I can drive. Is there anything to reference? Yeah. So basically, what we're going to see. And we can timestamp this. I don't know how well it's going to do or how well it's not going to do, but attention markets are going to be the next evolution of prediction markets. That I don't necessarily see them being as big because prediction markets are used as like a hedging instrument for all sorts of kind of things at the minute as well. But attention markets will be an extension of where memes have came from. A lot of the issue with what happens with memes is, as we quite rightly say, there are a lot of nefarious actors that will spin up a million different versions of the same token. So how do you kind of like, I suppose, categorize and just bet on an overall theme? So attention markets was, I think like the early originators of this were Noise, which went through Mega Mafia cohort 2, 1.
I can't remember which one. Yeah.
Have since said they were going to deploy on base. So now you've had Noise say they're going to deploy on base, and then you've had Zora go the other way with their attention markets product, which has just gone live and deploy on Solana. And then also, I think there was an article in Forbes recently that Polymarket and Kaito are going to be teaming up and creating attention markets there as well. So this is a sector that is probably only going to start to garner more attention, I think. I think from a kind of like younger demographic, it probably makes a ton of sense. Like if you can tap into viral trends on Instagram and TikTok and wherever fucking kids hang out these days, like that's probably a pretty cool product to financialize if people are going to pick up on early trends. Like I looked at the Zora markets earlier, there was some quite funny ones. Like OpenClaw as a attention market was on there. Peptides were on there. so clavicular, whatever the fuck he's called, that was like a market you could bet on there.
Do you want to pull up my screen, Josh?
So it's like if you spot an emerging trend or an emerging mimetic movement, if you're terminally online, it's a more efficient way to actually bet on the outcome of that market becoming true. So yeah, you can see at the top there, like attention markets is the number one market over there. There's longevity, dogs, clavicular, open claw. So you can bet on that as a kind of basketed idea, I suppose. So I like it in principle. I don't know how it really plays out, but again, you've got 3 pretty strong teams, and I don't think Polymarket would be throwing a lot of attention at it for no good reason either.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. I think this is interesting, as you say, because in the same way that I think prediction markets have found mainstream PMF, I think if you can get the messaging right on this, it could do the same. And as I say, like general prediction markets in general about just all the insider tricks and how you can gamify whether your pizza delivery guy is going to deliver your fries in 15 minutes or not, and it's on him to get them there faster at that point, isn't it? Attention markets could basically be the same, because I love the idea of betting on relevance. Realize what just came out of my mouth there, but similar to what was happening on noise, which I think was like testnet, whenever it was, before they interestingly moved to base, which is also weird how like Zora to Solana also pivots.
Yeah,
While
there's something going on there.
There's something going on there, but we don't know enough about it to comment on it. But I think I remember Brett actually posted something at the time, and it was like he was short in Sophon at the time, attention wise, because it was probably around ETHCan last year. When like the Sophon guys were doing a shitload of activation stuff, and like Brett, I guess, took the other side of the bet, and he was like, "I'm going to short attention on this." Like the idea of that, I think, is really interesting as a mainstream concept as well. Like even you look at like the Logan Paul Pokemon stuff at the minute, that's like popping off all over the timeline. Like I would be shorting the fuck out of that. Yeah. And imagine if you could kind of like break through the chasm of the mainstream ecosystem for this. And like, I'm trying to think of an example of what else could be cool to like bet on from a
peptides.
Chinese
peptides.
What else are the normies on Instagram talking about these days?
Ninja creamies.
Ninja creamies.
I've just got one. It's absolutely unreal.
What is that? Is it
it's an ice cream maker at home. Absolutely banging.
Oh man, that's dangerous for the calorie deficit, that though.
Nah, you just smash a load of skimmed milk and protein powder in. It's absolutely unreal.
Right. Fucking hell, genius. So how do we round off this Zora one? I tell you what, I know how we round it off with this tweet, because this is sort of more of a philosophical commentary on like where base is going in general, which is quite interesting.
I know what you're going to bring up here.
Yeah, it's this kook tweet. Again, please fellas, if you could pull this up. So kook tweeted, rumor that Coinbase is shutting down, top apps already leaving, Zora gone to Solana, for example, no token coming, betting on an odds-based token in 2026 got smashed, Armstrong endlessly dumping coin stock, sinking ship, base sequencer gets turned off any day IMO, and then you got Emily from Hype. Textbook play on how to hit monetization targets on this app. GG. What do you mean? Yeah. Do you think there's any credence to this? Like, what do you think about the base thing at the minute? I know we've suggested that they might go down an L1 route.
Yeah, I still think there's definitely opportunity for them to go down the L1 route. I think it makes a shit ton of sense if it just makes sense. They're too big to be paying rent to the Ethereum L1, in my opinion. Kook's obviously sensationalizing it, and it was really funny. But maybe there is a hint of truth in it. That's why it's so funny.
I'm trying to find. There was another tweet from Brian hitting back at someone. I wouldn't even say hitting back at them. I just can't remember where it was. Maybe it's somewhere, and Henry could link me in the private chat. I think it might have been Henry that sent it. It was about
the base app pivot and why that I think he's like a coin shareholder, and he was a bit like annoyed at the way that it all played out, and basically said that someone needs firing for the direction that it's taken. And Brian replied just saying, well, if you want anyone to fire in for that decision on the pivot, then you need to fire me, because that was my decision to actually push towards that. But like for Coinbase, they've got to recognize that the way that everything's moving is their business can effectively be fully on chain, and should be like, if you think about how efficient Hyperliquid is and the revenue that it's actually making for the product that it actually is, and then you've got tens of thousands of people probably at Coinbase, well, maybe a couple of 4 or 5 figure amount of people there at Coinbase. You've got to kind of look at that and just be like, well, either they're doing something really good or we're doing something really wrong, and it probably, like, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Can you replace people with protocols? Can you replace people with agents? Yes, and yes, in my opinion. So they're probably looking at that and recognizing that Coinbase, similar to what like's happening with Google at the minute, they're going to have to kind of like kill their old search model to push Gemini, because that's the way that people are operating.
Yeah.
Behaviors have changed online. So they have to recognize that in one sense they have to run this parallelized rundown of their centralized business, and then also pour fuel on the fire with regards to bringing everything on their own chain. So that's another reason why I definitely think that there's less risk if they have their own L1 as well. So yeah, it's probably, I really wouldn't want to be doing that. I think it's a very, very difficult task to manage both of those in tandem, really. But I feel like they're kind of getting forced into the decision themselves.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. It's ETH Denver this week, which is mad. It was a year since I was last there. It's a very unproductive week, really. It's walked around with Brody in 563 and walked in and around BitTense side events. But it feels like I saw this tweet from Andy, actually. Roll up Andy. And he said, ETH Denver so far, no airport sponsorships. Everyone thinks that's were a terrible idea. Hyperliquid event had a very solid group of familiar faces and builders, plus good new ones. Most people are very aware of the ongoing structural changes in the space. Others just feel it's cyclical. Chilly and windy. Folks continue to be excited about tokenization, equity, commodity perps, convergence of legacy finance and DeFi. Not sure what it is, but feels like this industry is growing up. Maybe we're just getting older. Way less noise. Feels somber, but rooms aren't empty, so it's not deep bare yet. There's a real community here of people who will just not leave no matter what. This is a good sign. That is essentially everything I think in my head about where the industry's at in general, in a tweet that I work on an assumption. And I have this theory that anyone who's been here for long enough, right, in crypto exists within like this, it's like a hive mind, I think, right? And like this is like real crypto people, like real crypto natives who like genuinely are logging onto CT every day. It's a collective feeling that we all have where you just know where the sentiment's at across the board, and you can just get a total feel and vibe for like where people are generally at mentally. It's like, and that's where like edge would always historically come from, wouldn't it? Like when you were betting against retail, especially, because you would know that when, yeah, it was, you would get the sick feeling because you know everybody else was feeling it as well. And it feels, and we've already said many, many times that this feels very, very bare. I think it's felt very bottomed for a while, but it feels different bottom. And it feels, and does that make sense? It feels like different in that it's perhaps going through an element of change that is painful. It's growing pains, painful change, but it feels like overall net positive change for where the industry is heading from an adoption and a technical point of view. Would you agree?
Yeah, like it's growing pains. It's getting dragged into maturity, kicking and screaming, I think. But I still there's so much like token overhang from early like 2020, 2022 rounds of investing that have still got a long time to play out, to be honest. Like even the rounds recently that were structured similarly to of years gone by, that's all still got to play out in the wash. I think people will definitely, it's time. It's the only way. You need better structured token launches or a complete lack of token launches to allow that just to play out. Because you can't have new capital coming in getting set on fire with regard to the stupidly structured token launches. So it's unfortunately, it is just a time horizon mismatch thing, and we're just going to have to go for it. But the other side will be way better until we fucking forget about the pains of it and just do it all again.
Yeah. I think, we are seeing, again, an evolution of what was once crypto Twitter and like it moving on to something new, by the way. Like, I think the times are long gone of like new sticky participants coming and finding this weird corner of the internet and being pilled enough to stay, because I just don't think there's enough interesting things here happening for people to stay for, in terms of the initial people that were attracted to this space from a genuine like tech curiosity point of view, and then what that could maybe lead to from a financial aspect, because as I say, like theory would meet price action, fundamentals would equal up and to the right. That is long gone as a result of everything we've seen play out with meme coins over the past 18 months. So I do think that like CT as a culture is perhaps dying, but maybe dying is the wrong word, and maybe is like evolving and will eventually amalgamate into something bigger and different, kind of simpler, sort of what we've been talking about earlier with the TBTN thing, like this wider scope, and it just like falls into the background, like, and a thing
it all
of
becomes the same thing.
It all just becomes the same thing. And as the last bit in that tweet says, it's a good sign that it's a good sign. I don't know what it says about the people that are still here, that people just refuse to go away and do anything else. Yeah.
Maybe they've got no options. That's maybe why.
That wouldn't surprise me, yeah. I mean, if you're 28-year-old and you've done nothing but trade meme coins up to now,
yeah,
maybe you got
not looking good, brev.
Not looking good, brev. Not looking good, brev. On the positive note, right, I think bear markets are better.
They're funnier.
The funnier, the more productive. You meet better people that you end up being friends with for the longer term. And interestingly enough, if you bring up my screen here, Josh, as Hasib has posted, Dragonfly have just closed $650 million fund.
Nice.
And I'm going to read some of this. It's a big milestone, and yet it's a weird time to celebrate. Spirits are low, fear is extreme, and the gloom of a bear market has set in. But here's the thing. We raised almost every single Dragonfly fund into bear markets. Fund we raised through the 2018 ICO winter when almost nobody believed in this space anymore. Fund 3, we raised right before Luna collapsed. Those were brutal times to deploy capital, but they turned out to be our best vintages. Last week, I caught a lot of heat for arguing that non-financial crypto has failed. I meant that, but the flip side of the argument is financial crypto is exploding. Stablecoins are eating the world. DeFi has grown so big it's rivaling CeFi. Financial institutions around the world are racing to build out their crypto strategies, and prediction markets are becoming the most trusted source of truth on the internet. Fund 4 is our biggest yet. Did well with that Roman numeral. And the crypto revolution is still early and it's exponential. If you look at our recent bets, Polymarket, Athena, Rain, Mesh, the growth speaks for itself. Not perhaps in price action though. Agentic payments, on-chain privacy, the tokenization of everything, crypto surface area is about to explode, and we want to be backing the founders at the center of it. Now I'm kind of done with that. But interesting, isn't it? And I realized that I foolishly, this is the problem with reading off screen, which is weirdly more difficult than you ever think it's going to be. I read it as Fund 1.
Fund IV.
Fund IV. It sounds delusional to say it, but it is true. Like if you've done enough cycles here, the playbook repeats, and it changes every time, ever so slightly. Like new characters emerge, other ones fall to the background and disappear. But the same thing will happen. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, everyone was like celebrating the absolute death of it. Like mainstream media, this is fucked, this is done. It's the final winter for
Got a lot of messages like, what's happening? How's your business going to go?
That's what you get. I remember the FTX crash. Like I remember going to the pub with like someone I used to work with, and he was like, "Are you okay?" Like I'm fine. And it feels like if you've got the nuts and the guts and the spirit to stick around and continue doing what you're doing through this period and these periods in general, it always pays off. it always pays off, and it's painful and it's shit and it's delayed gratification, but it always pays off. And yes, this time it's going to look a little bit differently. It definitely is, for a lot of reasons that we've said many, many times on this stream and others. Tokens are changing. It has to change. It's been fucked for a long time. But if you are here, contributing, doing something actually meaningful, it will pay off, I promise. Even if you're not building something, even if it's just like hanging out and meeting the right people and involving yourselves in the right circles, I absolutely guarantee you that you'll come out of it on the positive side. Because we have enough evidence and experience to know that that is factually true and has never not been.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect time to, if you can get that money over the line and close the fund and then actually start deploying it, it's the actual perfect time to go ahead and do that, because a lot of the 2022 onward funds just haven't returned capital to their LPs, so definitely not going to be getting interest from external capital. But if you can actually manage to get the fund closed and over the line, drastically reduced competition for those rounds and to lead those rounds. Not that Dragonfly would ever really have a problem with that, but the upper echelons of crypto VC and crypto adjacent VC, when they are going kind of toe to toe with the paradigms and founders funds and people like that of the world, maybe a few of those deals that you might struggle to lead, you can actually get over the line now. I think they'll be drastically pushing teams to think long and very, very, very hard about what a token does look like, or what the equity structure does look like, or if you even need to go get a token, because it's becoming more and more apparent now. Again, put this in the 26 thesis, that acquisitions are now a viable way for early investors to actually exit. So that's another vehicle of actually getting returns on your capital. So do you actually need to fuck around launching a token? People will be looking at companies that are built to sell and investing in those very, very early and supporting them to actually get acquired. So I think it's smart. Like, fucking kudos to getting 650 million closing that round, because it's a hard market, but like they're one of the best, like if not top 1, 2, 3 in my book. So yeah, and it's really good. They're doubling down. If it's going to work, it's going to work very, very well for them.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at Josh's comment, Alex, with the Braveheart speech. I don't know where that came from. I wasn't feeling, Grant told us last week we were optimaxing, and it does feel a lot better to just be like stupidly optimistic about everything all the time. How could you not be? I mean, none of us have got anywhere else to go now anyway. You know, if you're sitting on this live, right, or you're on the train on your way to work and you're listening on Spotify, and we recorded this the other day, just know you're here forever as well. So you need to keep believing, because it's too late now.
Yeah.
Your resume is fucked. There's no going back.
If you're gonna jump and panic early.
Yeah, we've already been down that road of the PR rebrand to Web3. That everyone knows that
digital assets now, though.
Did you Frontier Tech. So if anyone's got anything else to say, because last week we were trying to close the stream off, and then all of a sudden we just started getting battered with comments. So this is your last chance before we close this out. So while I'm inviting people on for that, what would your preferred method of investment be going forward? If take the Dragonfly thing here, right? Bear market, builders, everything we're talking about. What's the best way to see your return on investment from a crypto point of view now in the next 18 months and onward to 2 years?
It's very difficult, because people are going to have to realize that once you look at everything through a lens of, would you buy the equity of this token and not the token in and of itself, then a lot of the stuff just doesn't seem investable whatsoever. You got to look at stuff that is going to be revenue driving, cash flowing businesses that are maybe built to scale or maybe built to sell. Does that mean that the average person is going to be able to gain exposure to that? Probably not. From a founder and investor perspective, I couldn't really think of anything worse than having like tens of thousands of people pretending they're on my cap table and pretending they know what's best for my business. So you also have to align good investors with good teams. I think that's what Legion and Echo and people like that are doing quite well. So I don't really know. I don't really know what the opportunity is. I'd be very wary about people just launching tokens for the sake of it. If someone is going to launch a token, you want to have like clear, defined where that they are actually going to be pushing towards getting some form of revenue driven back to that token. I think that's just going to be the way that everything is going forward. I feel like tokens that are just floating in the ether, that are just like food coupons that have some resemblance to pseudo equity, that have no ties to the actual company in and of itself. I think it's done. I think that's over. So there's going to be fewer opportunities, but the ones that do actually come to the service, I think they're going to be higher quality. They're going to be higher concentrated, and when there is fewer opportunities and they are higher quality, I feel like those can self-sustain. So we'll just have to see how it plays out, because like launching a token can literally be the death of a company, totally. Which people don't realize. It can be the most expensive mistake any company actually makes.
I mean, when you sort of say the quiet part out loud, right? Like as you're saying there, why would you want to buy equity or have equity or shares in a company with zero revenue or product market fit?
Unless it's growth and you can kind of see a path towards that, but
as an obvious discarding, but for the most part, if you're talking about things that have been out and open for a long time, so it's a changing landscape. Comment from Chadwick: our resumes are fucked anyway, as an absolute bar. It's the truth, though, isn't it? At least you got Claude now to make yourself look better. Do a better job of that than you probably expect. Farming Dream Cash with their season 1 trading competition starting today. Good for you, new type trader.
Dream Cash is a pretty cool product. Hip 3 markets, mobile first. Yeah, interesting.
SADA, I believe. SADA powered.
SADA powered.
SADA powered.
Say the line.
On the stream there. Yeah, one of the sponsors will get that in as well.
Say the line.
Are we done?
Yeah.
57 minutes. That's got to be enough.
I need to go and pick my car up again.
Yeah. Well, good luck with it. Go and subscribe to the newsletter. Sideline tomorrow. We're granting Sunil talking about.
I'm back on in an hour's time as well with Travis.
Back on in an hour with Travis. We're probably going to have some fun, fruity stuff coming on the AI front as well. With a man that you may all be very familiar with, who once used to cover a forgotten ecosystem. Close it there, eh?
Yeah.
Cheers, right. Grant. Thanks.